Hello guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play episode. And in today's Minecraft Let's Play episode, I will be building a brand new farm. I'll be building a brand new cactus farm and making a big build all around the farm. It's gonna be a desert sea themed build, and it's gonna produce us a bunch of cactus. So yeah, the first thing we need to do before we can do the farm itself is the building. So as you can see, I've kind of laid out the area for the build itself. It's going to be a big square, super tall. We're going to have 2 layers of cactus farm inside of it. So yeah, well, before I get into the farm, let's get into a little bit of a time lapse of me building the building itself. Let's go. Hello, so it's me from the time lapse. So yeah, the first time lapse of a couple other time lapses in this video. So yeah, the first bit is of course laying the foundation before we can actually build the entire farm. So first of all, I'm only gonna build the first layer on not time lapse, and so I'm not gonna build the full farm in this first time lapse. I'm just gonna build the foundation so we've got something to start off with, and then I will build the farm. So yeah, just a short time lapse. I'm just building the first layer. It's small foundation. There's not much to write home about. It's cool, but it's kind of boring. So yeah, this is just the very beginning. So I also decided to do I used a lot of birch logs, stripped birch logs, and sandstone, of course. And I used green and orange terracotta, and I kind of mixed them through to give a little bit of variation. And I did these, as you can see, these little patterns. And I think it ended up really cool and detailed. Actually, personally, I really like the details that this build has. I feel like I haven't built many builds that have this level of detail, where it's the tiny little patterns and everything. I think this is one thing that I think is so unique about this build, are all the little patterns. It's so cool. But yeah, I guess this first time lapse is kind of coming to an end. Now I'm just placing the dirt and everything, so I guess I'll leave it to live me, I guess. Goodbye. I'm now back from the time lapse, and now the next step is of course starting the farm itself. So the first thing I need to do for the farm itself is add some hoppers to catch all of the items. So I just go one at a time. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. Let me just add a chest first. So I'll just add the chest here. Oh my god, I'm not very good at adding chests. 2 chests, and let me add some hoppers. If I can get into the farm. And then now we just add hoppers flowing into the chest. And that's it for this first step. So let's move on to the next step. So the next step is adding all of the slabs. So we're going to need to add slabs so that on top we can add some, what is it called again? Oh, sand. Yeah, we need to add sand. So let's do this straight away. I can't make the jump. There we go, I made the jump. So I'm gonna need everything to be, there we go. I will eventually just remove those. Wait, I messed up the placement of these. And there we go. There should only be 4. And are they all correctly spaced? 2 and 2. Yep, they're correctly spaced. So now I'm gonna put them correctly in their spots. As you can see the weird boundaries here. That's because it's what we call being very good at making good sized buildings. Yep, I made this 10 by 10 when the maximum for these cactus farms is actually 4 by 4. So I do look quite stupid, but I like how the building looks. So yeah, looks over function. Yeah, looks over function all the time. That's my motto. Aesthetics over function. So let me just quickly do this. So I decided to kind of skip through this bit of the build because it's kind of boring. Because now I'm gonna be adding some water. We're gonna need to add water to transport all of the blocks, all of the cactus, I guess. And let me just spend a couple seconds making that, I guess. Let's just do it quickly. I need to find a way to make. There we go. Let me just quickly time lapse through this. So I kind of skipped through the water aspect, 'cause now we're gonna move on again to the next step, which is adding all of the sand. Yes, we need to add a bunch of sand. Ouch, I didn't properly get on my block. Let me just quickly add some sand. If I can get properly on the block, there we go. I decided to use sandstone because it blends in with the sand. So let me just quickly do this. Oops. There we go. And now, I guess the farm is not yet done, but I'll move on to the next aspect. The very last aspect, of course, so let's get to it. So the next and final step is, of course, adding the removal system, the system that we're going to use to break all of the cactus. And so we're going to use glass panes, because there's one cool mechanic about cactus is that whenever there's a block next to them, they will break instantly. And we can kind of use this mechanic to our advantage, because with full blocks, the cactus just won't grow. But for some reason, with glass panes, the cactus will still grow, but once it's grown to be right next to the glass pane, it will just break. So yeah, so basically we're just gonna add glass pane. Ouch. We're just gonna add glass panes like this, and I just break the bottom ones, and that's about it. Yeah, that's really it. It's that simple. There's no redstone involved. That's how easy cactus farms are. No redstone. There we go. And we only need one glass pane per pair. So for each pair of cactus, there's only a need for one glass pane. That's it. There we go. Looking back, I should have. Oh my goodness, why? I should have used what is it called again? I should have used light green lime glass, I should say, because like that I would have saved up on dye, which I don't have very much of. But I wasn't smart enough to do that decision, so oops. And there we go. That's done. So yeah, the very last step is adding all of the cactus. So 1 second. So now all I need to do is add some cactus and wait for the cactus to grow, I guess. So let me just quickly just go one by one. So here, 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 here. Hey. Oh no, I don't have enough. I'm just gonna need to wait for the cactus to grow, and then I'm gonna be able to continue. So yeah, I guess that's the end of the building for the first layer of this farm. Next we're gonna be building the next layer and of course encasing the first layer in a little bit of a build time lapse. So let's go. So it's now me for the second time lapse where I'm building the rest of the build. I'm not completing the build yet because I need to finish the second layer, and then once I finish the second layer I can build the second layer of the farm itself, but I need to finish the second layer of the build itself first. So it's separated into like 3 different layers. There's a middle layer, the foundation layer, and then there's like the roof and like the top layer. So yeah, it's kind of like a cake, but like not really like a cake. But yeah, so here I'm just there's definitely less detail in this part, but I still feel like I think it's pretty nice. Once again, I'm taking advantage of the terracotta. By the way, I haven't found a mesa yet, so I'm just smelting all the terracotta by myself, and that was annoying. Though luckily I've got my super smelter, so it didn't go too long. It didn't take too long, I mean. So yeah, we did use quite a lot of birch logs, so I had to chip chop a bunch of birch trees, because if not I would have run out. And you can probably see all the scaffolding. I usually don't use that much scaffolding, and I was like, maybe I should try out using some scaffolding. Oh my god, I'm so funged up right now. I should try using some scaffolding. I've not really used that much scaffolding, and I realized it's actually really it's much better than scaffolding with blocks like dirt. Like actual scaffolding is so much better than, and it's so cheap too. Like as long as you have a bamboo and like a string farm, like you can, like you're gonna make a big lot and you're never gonna run out. Like you're gonna have a lifetime supply of this stuff, because it's really cheap, really easy to craft up, and it's just so useful. Like I feel like it's a block that's like really neglected. Like I feel like I used to always just scaffold with like blocks like dirt and everything, and I've never tried using scaffolding, and I tried it for this build and I realized, yeah, everyone should start using scaffolding as a scaffolding block more often, because that's how good it is. Like it's so good. Yeah, it's just the annoying thing is that you need bamboo, and if you haven't found a jungle yet, then bamboo can be hard to come by. But if you found shipwreck, then I mean, like you can get bamboo in shipwreck. So I mean, yeah, I guess it really depends. Like if you're okay with like scaffolding with dirt, then I mean, okay, whatever. But like, oh my, like literally like scaffolding with this stuff is like so much more superior than any dirt blocks. Like trust me, this is it's really that much better. And there we go. So now I'm finishing the second layer by adding those like those extra patterns here with the terracotta again and the sandstone. Used a lot of sandstone in this build. I had to do quite a bit of resource gathering, but yeah. So yeah, I'm nearly done here, and now I want to address the lack of Minecraft video. It's just like kind of like recently for me it's been test week. Test week is nearly over. This is the last week of tests, like the week this video is published. Like on Thursday, tomorrow, I've got another test, and on Friday is the last test day. I'm over with the scholar year, I don't know. So like it's nearly over, and that's why there hasn't been any videos. Like it's just taking me that long to make one single Minecraft video, because I've decided with this video I didn't want to rush it. I wanted to take it slowly, and I wanted to add all of those little details. And so yeah, so I just spent the time designing the build and getting something perfect, which is why it took me that long. But yeah, the second time lapse is nearly over, and I guess that's kind of the last time lapse, because the next time lapse I'll just leave you with some music. So yeah, goodbye. Hello, so I'm pausing the time lapse because yeah, you can see I've done some work off camera. I actually did it in my first ever live stream. So here are some of the stream highlights. They're kind of pathetic. You can actually go watch the entire stream on the YouTube channel, but it's really bad, the quality, because overall I didn't have I didn't have a good software at the time because Nvidia just broke down, so I had to use this crappy thing on the internet as a makeshift thing. So yeah, basically the only thing I really did off camera was just building the second layer of the farm, which is basically exactly the same as the first layer, so there's not really anything new or interesting, I guess. But yeah, now the last bit is of course finishing the entire build, which is basically adding the roof and everything. So yeah, I guess I'll go into the very last time lapse, quick time lapse, no commentary. So let's get it into it. So yeah, the time lapse is done. I've basically completed the farm, and yeah, it's pretty big. 2 layers. It's quite tall. I think the issue with the build is that it's a perfect square, which makes it a little bit more boring, but I feel with all the little details, I feel like it looks a little bit less boring, a little bit unique. And yeah, it may be a perfect square, but it looks pretty cool, and it's very tall, as you can see, very tall. Like, we can get above. Now the roof, I just want to mention that, whoa, my god, I'm not very good at flying, it seems. The roof is very flat and very boring, and so basically in the future, like off camera, I'm gonna add like little details on here. I was thinking adding like a small cactus farm that's like not a running farm, not an operating farm, but just like a decorative farm, and adding some like chests and things just for the detail aspect of it. And also off camera, I'm also gonna detail the surrounding area, because right now it's quite ugly. The surrounding area is very ugly. Yeah. So yeah, basically, yeah, it's very ugly. Also, it's been producing quite a lot. Look at that. It hasn't ran for very long, and that's quite a lot of cactus already. So yeah, I've got high hopes for this farm. But I guess this is the end of this video, I guess. So yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, I guess. Goodbye.